Apparently, IARC recently decided to update the rating of the Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2 demo to include in-game purchases because it links to Undertale's store page at the start. There are no plans for in-game purchases in the full game. This program is intended for players who are already familiar with Undertale. Would you like to check out Undertale first? Check out Undertale, start Deltarune.
How about new chapters?
No. I recently decided to update Deltarune to include Chapter 3. Forsaken canon to Undertale. No Nintendo Direct. No Deltarune. Apparently, I decided to date Deltarune demo to include purchases to Undertale. There are plans for purchases game. Apparently, Deltarune includes Undertale's plans for the full game. Deltarune tomorrow. Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 tomorrow. I hope, Gaster, I must capture the avatar to restore my honor. Recently, I decided to... Apparently, I recently decided to update Deltarune. No, there are no plans for a full game. I hate Newbert. There are no plans for him. I am Pluie Deltarune. I recently deleted Deltarune. There are no plans for Deltarune. This program is Undertale. Would you like to check out Undertale? Check out Undertale. Start Undertale. Apparently, I am B. Deltarune tomorrow. Apparently, I recently deleted the Deltarune because it's stupid. There are no plans for the full game. This program is intended for no one. Would you like to check out? Check out, die. You lost the game. This program is intended for players who are already familiar with Stuart Little. Would you like to check out Nut Dealer first? Check it out. I'm in that house. Stuart Little. Egg. Undertale.com recently decided to update Deltarune Chapter 1 to include in-game purchases because sans. There are no plans for the full game. This program is intended for play. Would you like to check out? This program is intended for play. Would you like to check out? Check out. I recently decided to update Undertale. Apparently, I decided to update Deltarune 2 to include in-game purchases because it links to a store page at the start. There are plans for in-game purchases in the game. This program is intended for players who are already familiar. Would you like to check out? Check out Deltarune. I recently decided to update Deltarune to include in-game purchases. There are in-game purchases in the full game. This program is intended for players. Check out. Start Dune. Apparently, I recently decided to update Deltarune. There are plans for the full game. I ate the game Undertale. There are no full game. This program is intended for players who are already familiar with Dale. Would you like to check out Dale first? Check out Dale. Start run. Arch 5 at 9. Apparently, I recently decided to date the rat because no plan. Apparently, I date men. There are plans for gay in the full game. This program is intended for players who are fruits. Check out Undertale Start Delta. I recently came to Undertale. There are no plans for in-game cum. Is intended for players who are already familiar with Undertale. Undertale Start. Apparently, I recently died. There are no plans for the full game. I ate Deltarune and Undertale. There are no plans for the full game. Apparently, I recently ate Gaster's house. Sans Undertale. Heck app. Tomorrow, Deltarune. Apparently, Deltarune is a game. There are plans. I recently decided to update Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2 to include Pluie. Deltarune Direct. I recently decided to date the Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2 demo because it is Undertale. There are plans for game in the full game. This gram is intended for players who are already familiar with Tale. Would you like to check out Under first? Check out Durtale, Star Deltarune. Apparently, Dr. Gaster plans for game purchases in the full game. This program is Undertale. Would you like Undertale? Check Undertale Start. Apparently, I recently decided to update Deltarune Premium because there are plans for in-game purchases in the full game. Apparently, I date the rat. I recently decided to update Deltarune to include in-game purchases. There are plans for in-game purchases in the full game. This program is intended for phones. Check out USB. Apparently, I recently decided to include beans to Undertale. Deltarune, Nintendo Direct. Start Deltarune.